Hi everyone, it's Sasha here from Coding Rooms.
Hi, it's Angela from Coding Rooms, and today we have more of a quick rundown of some of the things that we're working on, but that will showcase a little more over the next few weeks. But there's a lot of new and interesting features, some related to kind of our UI updates, our new IDE. We have more of a sort of community discussion board or platform coming up as well. So without further ado, we're going to start off with the product updates and then kind of go into some of these new things that we're trying to release. So I'll pass it over to you, Sasha.
Awesome, thank you, Angela. I'll start with a few quick product updates. So recently we took the instances functionality out of beta, and that's going to be a key part of our version 2 IDE that I'll be talking about in greater depth here shortly. And we also made tons of updates to our support for Python with instances. So great support for Matplotlib, as well as Pygame and all those UI like the Tinker library as well. So all these UI based Python libraries now have pretty solid first class support in coding rooms. Um, and we're also looking to continue to expand our support for all these Python libraries on coding rooms as well via instances. The next segment of this podcast is meant to be a discussion about some very large scale updates to the coding rooms platform that are going to require some of them are going to require a little bit of migration and also kind of um, fresh looks at the coding rooms product. So the very first thing is that we will begin to include courseware in the coding rooms platform. So a mix of free courseware as well as potentially down the road the ability for you to share your courses privately um, using this new level of courseware sharing functionality. And so the initial courses that you'll see will be for AP Computer Science, so Java focused, as well as for Python, and they will have auto grading embedded in them as well.
So
Um,
if I want to just reiterate, it is more of like eventually going to turn into some sort of marketplace where teachers themselves can also create and share, and it's more of that kind of platform, right?
yeah, exactly. So this is our very first step, and you'll see this launching over the next few weeks. All these things really will be launching over the next few weeks as we're talking about some um, reduction in usage as everyone goes for the holidays, and this for us is a great time to ship some of these larger changes that we're doing. Um, the next big step is that in the UI, we are moving away from the sidebar. So everything will be centrally located in the top header navigation. So you'll have quick links to courses. And then when you click the courses tab, you'll have all these new buttons for create a course. And so everything will be a lot simpler instead of having to use the relatively kind of clunky sidebar that was on all your pages. Your pages now you have a lot more screen real estate, and you're able to uh, kind of access features a little um, more logically from that. But we're not removing any pages. So you'll still be able to access all the pages and all your previous links will work. I think that that's particularly important. Um, but there will be some splashes of new color as well as that new way to navigate. And when all that goes live, you can also expect for you and your students to get an onboarding message that will explain how to use the new UI. Um, the next big thing that we're talking about on our roadmap that will be released over the holidays is a large version 2 of our IDE. Um, this version 2 of our IDE will have instances as the primary way to run your code, um, and will otherwise retain all the functionality from the previous IDE, but will have much better support for files. So instead of just managing files and tabs, now you'll have a file tree that you can pop in and out. Creating and deleting files should also feel a lot faster and a lot easier to do that, like in a typical IDE. And the way that you run code will also be a lot more flexible, because we'll be offering more options in terms of how you can structure your projects. But otherwise, most things will remain the same as far as your ability to play back and see what students are doing, and the live editing, all that will be the same, except it should just feel a lot faster and have a lot more functionality. And as part of that, we might be scheduling, because the data formats are incompatible with each other, how we actually store them internally, we might be planning for a little bit of scheduled maintenance time on the Coding Rooms platform during the holidays when your students are off. It will be overnight, Eastern and Pacific time, while we release this update. And it will, however the update shows up, if we end up rolling it out to everyone immediately as a replacement for the legacy IDE, you will still have a lot of onboarding and help resources to get you going with the new version of the IDE, so that it will feel easy and straightforward. And also keep everyone posted as far through email with those help resources on the new IDE. Next thing I wanted to talk about in a little greater detail was the Replit export. So the Replit export functionality now is completely stable. You have until Jan 31, I believe, to get your data out from Replit to conduct your Replit export. So our suggestion is, even if you're not planning to use Coding Rooms immediately, to go ahead and run your export so you can save your data from the Replit classroom platform. And at a later date, whatever you want to do with it is your choice, but we'll support importing from Replit for the foreseeable future as well. And last big product update I wanted to mention was we're planning to launch on the Coding Rooms site a discussion platform. So it will be on a subdomain of Coding Rooms, where you'll be able to use your Coding Rooms account to also make forum posts and hold discussions, and we'll have areas that are public and moderated, and then we'll also have areas that will be for teachers only. And so we'll have a great mix of different discussions about Coding Rooms and about also about other potentially unrelated or semi-related topics on the Coding Rooms discussion board. All these updates we're basically planning for the holidays, or to release over the holidays. So we really suggest that prior to coming back to Coding Rooms in early January for teaching your new classes, that you do spend a little bit of time to familiarize yourself with these resources and get fully up to speed with what we have from Coding Rooms, and we'll be providing the onboarding resources necessary for that. And we look forward to supporting all of you through all these new features. If you have any other requests for features or things that you'd like to do with Coding Rooms, please let us know about that via email or via our live chat, and we're taking all your feedback and prioritizing it and trying to get it built into the platform. So all these features are from feedback from users like you, and we'd really like to help you continue that. Again, tangential to kind of the feedback discussion is we're also continuing to work on building our ambassador program for teachers now, teachers and professors. So if you're a teacher using Coding Rooms and you'd like to be more involved, please feel free to reach out to us about this, and that will include some options as far as like participating in certain beta tests, as well as just being more involved in the Coding Rooms community And we really appreciate everyone's support in that. And with that, I'll hand it over to you, Angela.
Yeah, so as you can see, we have a lot of more, a lot of new and amazing features coming out. And to reiterate, a lot of this is feedback from actual teachers and professors who use our platform. And, if you want to get more involved, obviously, you can email us, you can reach out to us on our support chat, or, on our Facebook page. We actually have a dedicated Facebook group for educators as well. And there's already a lot more kind of more targeted discussion around just uh, teachers and professors who use our platform. So we are building this active community. And if you want to get more involved, you can also check out our Facebook group. Without further ado, I think that's it for this week's podcast. As you can see, we're very busy with a lot of these new updates, and throughout the holidays and early next year as well. Stay tuned on our email communication as well as our YouTube channel for a lot more content related to how to navigate and use all these new features. And we're very excited to have all these releases upcoming. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you. All right.